What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Morning Cup. Today we have Kenyan coffee by Ghost Town Coffee Roasters.
Yeah, the same roaster we had on last week. I ordered some of their Kenyan. Kenyans are very interesting varietal of coffee.
I've never had it.
You never had it? Well, give
No.
us a read on the back of the description.
All right. I got to take this AirPod out. With its brilliant tropical notes. Oh, look at that. I didn't
Remember
read
what
it
you said
before.
earlier?
I said it had very tropical scents. With its brilliant tropical notes, this coffee comes to us directly from the Kariua Cooperative in Muko, Kenya. I hope I'm pronouncing those somewhat right. Recent emphasis on fostering long-term personal connections between growers and buyers has been a big driver of increased quality of coffee from Kenya. Can I read the rest too? The flavor notes, or just skip that for now?
Let's skip that for now.
Okay. So there you go.
Yep.
It is
Go ahead.
directly from Kenya.
Yeah. Much like Cafe Naranja, they use a cooperative that focuses on sustainability for the farmers. So that's good. Let's give it a try, Josh.
Hold on. Should we give it a sniff first?
Sure.
Let me get my hat backwards. I'm going to sniff the whole bean first because,
So if you're at home, what you want to do is sniff it kind of like it's a bourbon or a wine, open mouth through the nose. That way your tongue can kind of get all of the good notes out of it.
Yeah. So on the whole bean, for me, there's not so much of that tropical, like scent note through the whole bean, but definitely when I ground it up before I brewed it, that's when I really smelled it. And
So by tropical, what do you mean?
fruity, like tropical fruit. I like mango, stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, kind of like tropical fruits.
What do we smell it as it's been brewed?
Not so much more, or not so much tropical anymore to me.
It's very sweet though.
It is. I can smell the sweetness.
It's almost
So I read this on the back of the bag, which obviously helps.
right.
But it definitely does have a scent of like a butterscotch or like a caramel. Almost.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I did also see that it's a butterscotch.
I smelled it up there though before I read the back of the bag.
That's good. But that's what it does. It does have that that soft candy kind of smell.
Are we tasting it now?
Yep, let's go.
Okay.
What do you think?
It's very sweet, I think.
Yeah.
It's kind of definitely a different flavor. Kind of bitter. The bitterness actually surprises me. I've tasted a little bit of bitterness, but it smells sweet and it tastes sweet, and then it's got like this dry, like bitter aftertaste.
Yeah. Not as much as the last one.
Not as much, but it's definitely there, and that kind of threw me off because at first, when I did the spray, it was like sweet, and then not quickly, but sooner than I thought, it kind of like finished up.
Yeah, I'm getting some earthy tones though.
I don't know. I think the aroma is more like, well, I don't know, because that aftertaste, I taste a little bit of like a mango-y. It's changing every time I take a sip.
Yeah. It does have a little bit of a citrusy taste. That I think that's the bitter that we're getting. Is that citrus?
I taste mango the more I drink it.
Yeah. So they're like sweet.
Yeah, like a very sweet. And I know, so the tasting notes in this one that they give you are butterscotch, mango, and melon. So I'm not really getting any melon. The butterscotch I think was more from like the smell, kind of like that soft candy. I smelled more like caramel butterscotch.
Yeah.
But yeah, the tasting, I'm definitely getting more like that fruitiness. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is supposed to have tasting notes of butterscotch, mango, and melon, like Josh said. It was grown at an elevation of 6,069 feet, which, Josh, I don't know if you know this, the altitude
will affect how it tastes.
Yeah. So like our special reserve, it's grown at a little bit higher altitude. So it comes off a little bit more um, stronger.
Okay.
Like it's intensified the taste.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it does make sense, but that's something I just never really thought of. I was
Yeah.
actually talking to somebody just I think yesterday, and I was talking about how like the world of coffee is so much more in depth than people think.
Yeah.
Like most people come to a coffee shop, they order their coffee, they get it, they leave, and then you realize like stuff like that where the slightest altitude change in the same region is going to alter the flavor.
Yeah. So those are called microclimates. So
Okay.
say we're on a mountain, right?
Okay.
Let's say the farm closer to the top, they're in a different microclimate, even though geographically they're not far away from the bottom of it.
Yeah. I don't mean to cut you off.
Okay.
I just took another sip, and I got a very melony flavor, like all down the back of like my gums, if that makes sense. Like it just like I took a sip, and when I swallowed it, it was just like melony, more melon, not like a watermelon, but like
a honeydew.
Yeah. What's the green one?
I don't know. Jack, is that honeydew? The green one?
What's the green melon? Okay,
Honeydew,
that's what
yeah.
I'm thinking of then.
Our producer gave us the answer.
Yeah. Honeydew. We're having technical difficulties. There we go. The lighting's fine, I think, without it.
Yeah, so
Anyways, go back to microclimates.
yeah, so the microclimates, like I said, if you're at the top of a mountain and the bottom of a mountain, they're obviously higher altitude is going to be a little bit colder, or bottom is going to be warmer. So these beans and these fruits grow differently, even though they're, like I said, geographically really close.
So what about sorry. So what about like in places like California? I know you lived in
Yeah.
San Francisco. You got like the mountains that go right along the shore.
Yep.
Kinda. I think I've never been there. So like one side is very like dense fog, like kind of like wet, I guess. But then the other side of the mountain, it's very dry.
Yeah.
Like so in certain countries where like they grow coffee, if they're on mountains, can it change depending on what side of the mountain they're on?
Yeah, probably. So what you're talking about is,
I didn't know if you knew the. I was just curious because it's.
Yeah, I
know.
actually took a class in college that taught this.
Really?
So, yeah. So
College pays off.
on a mountain, especially when you're on the coast, right? So what happens is the water gets sucked up from like an ocean or say like Lake Michigan, right? And so it gets sucked up, and then as it goes up altitude, it rains.
Yeah.
So on the left side, actually, is I think the water side, it's actually more arid, and then it reaches an altitude, and then it rains, and on the other side. So
maybe that's what I'm thinking. Maybe I've got it flip flopped.
yeah,
because it's like it cools off, and then when it goes back down the other side of the mountain,
it cools off,
condenses.
It condenses and rains on the other side.
Maybe I should have paid more attention in high school.
They didn't teach that in high school. Actually, they
I feel like I did at one point, but I don't know.
They probably did.
I also changed my major twice in 2 semesters. So
it was integrated science or integrated studies of biology was
okay.
the
Yeah,
class
see, I
that
haven't taken a biology class since sophomore year of high school.
Yeah, or I don't know if it was biology. I don't
But no, that's very interesting. I'm sure it's the same way with a lot of things that are like grown from the earth, I guess.
Yeah, So-
Not just coffee, but
and also the air higher up is thinner too, so there's less oxygen. So the beans are a little harder.
Well, and like depending on where in the world, whether with the climate, if the air is colder, it's more dense, and I'm sure that has something to do with it as well.
Yeah,
at some point. I mean,
everything.
Coffee grown farther away from the equator. Is all coffee grown near the equator? Because I feel like a lot of these coffees that we try are like somewhere in the central, like close to the equator.
Yeah, so
I don't know if you know that answer either. I'm asking questions.
I'm thinking of all the places that. Oh, our producer's got something for us.
Excuse me. We have a book that we read.
All right, boom. Right.
So there's no coffee grown.
Yeah, so between the equator, the Tropic of Cancer, and Capricorn are where all of coffee is made.
Oh, the equator's that low?
Yeah.
Jeez, I should have paid more attention. I know that, but I thought it was higher up than like that. Okay, I'm just crazy. So, okay.
Yeah. So to answer your question, yes.
Okay. So most coffee's grown between the two tropics.
But yeah, between 30 degrees north and 30 degrees south, I believe.
God, you know a lot of stuff.
It's just locked in my brain somewhere.
Somewhere. I probably would have figured that out over time, but
yeah, okay. I got a couple years on you.
So yeah, more than a couple.
Okay, so it also says the process is washed. So going back to our book, we'll also learn what that means.
This book is awesome. I read it all the time.
Yeah,
when we have downtime, I'll grab that and read it. Well, right now.
This is Barista Theory Basics. Me and Jack got it at Coffee Fest in Indianapolis, and it just goes over all the basics to being a better barista, from steaming to cleaning to like where these coffees come from and how they.
Yeah. Well, when I first started here, you guys had me like read that whenever I had free time.
Oh yeah.
And I still do. I mean, I still go over it and.
Well, let's go over it right now.
Oh, okay. So we're going over washed.
Yeah. So go through the three options and tell us what washed is.
Okay, so there's three options. There's washed, pulp natural, and natural. So this is a washed.
So this is the fermentation process of how they get the what you see as a coffee bean.
So the wash process, it's the cherries picked and it's depulped. And then the water tanks, there are water tanks that hold coffee for 24 to 48. The 4s are really small. Hours, letting the mucilage fall off.
Yeah, mucilage.
Mucilage, okay. This step can differ based on origin. Coffee beans are dried and raised on raised beds or patios. The timing of this process differs based on climate. Parchment is removed from the seeds. Coffee seeds are sorted and packaged for shipment. Flavor notes: clean, consistent, refined acidity.
Yeah, so
it is very clean. Like
it is.
Now I'm bringing that up, and now the consistency throws me off because I feel like the more I drink it, and maybe it's just because we did a pour over.
Are they talking about
the flavor is consistent?
I think they're talking about like it's consistent from roast to roast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought they were talking about just within the coffee. I was like, the flavor notes I'm getting from this are not like. At first, it was more like mango, and now I'm getting like a melony.
Yeah. So we'll talk about the pulp natural. Coffee cherry is picked. Coffee is depulped. Coffee is dried with the mucilage remaining on the seed. Parchment is removed off the seed. Coffee seeds are sorted and packaged for shipment. It says the flavor notes are more sweet. Jack, isn't there another word for pulp natural?
Pulp natural?
Yeah.
So it's wash, natural, and honey, which is
Honey wash, right? Or something.
some of the fruit left on it.
Yeah.
Natural is where they leave all the fruit on it. I believe honey they leave the mucilage on.
So that's like
That's the pulp.
that's pulp natural. Okay.
Yeah, so honey, Jack was saying honey was another word, or is another type of pulp natural, which it is true, it's a lot more sweet. And then the natural, so coffee cherry is picked, coffee cherry is dried with the fruit left on. Parchment and dried fruit is removed from the seed. The coffee seeds are sorted and packaged for shipment. The flavor notes that you'll get are more fruity, distinct, and distinct flavor quality is what it says. So I think I like naturals a lot.
Would that be like Ethiopian?
Yeah, so our Ethiopian is a natural.
Oh yeah, I can tell.
I think the goji.
It is very distinct.
Yeah.
And very fruity.
Yep. So I think that's what they meant by consistent. Is like it's more going to be just like just a clean cup of coffee.
Yeah, no matter what the blend or the roast is.
Yeah.
Or the bean.
Yeah.
I guess not the roast.
So also it says it's grade A. I did some research on that because Jack and I did not know.
grade double A.
Double A, yeah.
AA.
I guess that means that it's a bigger bean size than normal. So this is also a light to light medium roast.
Yeah, definitely. It's 2 beans out of 5
Yeah,
on
2
the
beans out of 5.
on the roast level. So yeah, I'd say it's a light to light medium. Definitely like I got a little bit of a bitterness at the very beginning. Like the first couple sips, I could have just adjusted my taste buds to it, but the more I drank it, it got very, very sweet, very fruity. Like I said, there was a hint of melon
Yeah.
towards the last few sips. I only got a couple sips left in here, but it's very good. Now I want to ask you. Last week we had the
Bourbon.
the bourbon barrel. You said you don't think you could drink that like every day or very often. What do you think about this one? I'm not saying if you could drink it every day because I think it's good to change things up. But is this something you could see yourself buying and having just to drink regularly?
Yeah, I think I could. When Jack and I tasted it, the one thing that we had talked about was we've had another Kenyan from Madcap Coffee that was
Okay, that's in Grand Rapids.
correct.
Okay.
It was a little bit more unique. This is a little bit more.
Okay.
Like, I would say this is an everyday drinker.
Okay.
By the way, we're adding drinkability to the grading.
Oh, that's smart. So
Yeah.
it'll be okay. Average from out of 30. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So I guess so. You went up there. There's this. What do you mean by more unique? Kind of like
It tastes like a tomato soup.
really.
Yeah. I always wanted to do a cold brew with it, with like basils in it.
I want to go up there next time in Grand Rapids and things are open back up. I need to go there.
I think we're gonna order some of their coffee just to try on
Really?
the show. Yeah, they're
Let's
good.
do
It's
it.
good. They're good stuff.
Let's do it.
They are.
Now
We
I
get-
want to try their Kenyan.
We went to their Detroit location,
How many locations do they have?
4 or 5.
Did they start in Grand Rapids?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say it's downtown, right?
Yep.
I'm pretty
They
sure
got a
I've
couple
been
downtown.
by there, but I don't know if I've ever actually been there.
The roastery's on the east side of Grand Rapids, over in the wealthy district.
Oh, not. Oh, I was thinking over by like Founders, but
They have one over there too.
I'll say because that's right. That's like downtown. That's right by like 20 Monroe and.
Yep. They
All
have
that.
so they one at the Grand Rapids Market, and then they have one off of Monroe Center Street.
Okay.
So, which is, I think, I want to say the original one, but I'm not 100% sure. That one's really nice. That was the first one I went to.
Can you go in there?
You can go in all, well, not right now, but
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
It's pretty nice. It's like super tall exposed brick. It's like, imagine this place.
But bigger.
Not necessarily bigger.
Really? Taller?
Taller.
There you go.
And it's just all like white, black, very clean.
Okay.
very-
That's cool. I'll definitely have to. I want to check it out then.
Yeah.
I also saw a place in Hastings that looks pretty good, but they were closed, of course.
Right.
Rode the motorcycles up there, but I think it's very interesting that like this Kenyan coffee can taste so much different than somebody else's.
Yeah.
And it makes me think like, so I've had our Ethiopian a few times. If I go somewhere else and try an Ethiopian, how much different is it going to be?
Very
Is
different.
ours going to be more unique, or is theirs going to be? Because I think our Ethiopian, I think it's pretty drinkable.
Yeah.
Like as an everyday thing.
Mhm.
Now the cold brew, I completely am the opposite on my train of thought. Because the cold, it's crazy how it can be so different from hot to cold.
Well, that has to do with like the grind size.
Yeah, of course, and
long
how
you're-
cold brew is made too. I mean, it's a very interesting process in and of itself.
Yeah.
But all right, so
Yeah, let's go. To
aromatics.
The rank aromatics. I'm giving a 6.
Whoa. So I'm smelling. There's not much left in my mug, and it's very like kind of like I don't know, like residue on the inside of the mug, and I smell a lot of butterscotch, like that scent. The whole bean. I mean, I can smell a little bit of like a fruitiness, but it's very unique as far as the aromatics go, and I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna give it a 9 on the aromatics. I think it's very unique. It smells good, and it gains interest just by smelling it. I think.
Okay.
Like I sniff it, and whether it's the brewed, the ground, or the whole bean, it's like very unique. And I
Okay.
think that makes me wanna try it. So I'm gonna give it a 9 on the aromatics.
I gave
I'll
it a
keep track of
6.
my own, by the way.
Oh, I just did both first, but that's fine.
It's too late.
Too late.
So you gave it a 6. Why?
I just wasn't smelling anything that like jumped out at me.
Really? See, I'm
Yeah.
the opposite. I think it like jumped, like, especially right now. All I can smell is like a butterscotch, like sweet caramel, something like that.
Yeah,
But hey, we're different people. We have different noses.
that's true.
So
So then we're gonna go with taste. Um, I think 8. Yeah,
I was gonna give it a 9 again,
another 9.
because I'm gonna be honest here. I think it's great.
Great.
This is like, so I said last week I'd have a bag of that, the bourbon,
Yeah.
just to have like in my personal collection as like a every once in a while. This is something I could probably brew and drink, 2 or 3 times a week, and the flavor of it's like really good. So I'm gonna give it a 9.
Do you
Just-
have a 9?
I really like I really like it. This is probably one of my favorite coffees I've ever had.
I would say that's why I give it 8. It's pretty good. Like it's not a bad cup of coffee.
I'm saving the 10. You're not. It's gonna be hard to get a 10 out of me.
How to get 10? Okay, so drinkability. Could you drink this every day?
Every day, no.
So
And the reason I say no is because I don't want to get sick of it. I think if you drink something every single day, eventually you're gonna wake up and be like, you're gonna take a sip of it and you're gonna be like, it's not that good anymore.
So what you're saying is it's so unique to you, you don't want to ruin it.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the way I thought about the bourbon barrel coffee too from last week. Like, it was a great coffee, but the reason I said I wouldn't want to drink it every day is because it's like, why would I want to ruin that? I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like Colombian coffee, everywhere has Colombian coffee, like gas stations, everything. So that's one of those things where I think differently, but something so unique and something that I like so much, I wouldn't want to
So
ruin that.
what is?
But now it's hard to come up with a number.
I think with drinkability we can allow 7s,
Okay.
and I would say a 7.
See, but it's hard because like, as much as I would like to drink it all the time,
Alright.
I wouldn't want to.
So maybe we shouldn't think of drinkability as how often you can drink it, but like how excited you would be to drink it.
I was gonna say how easily, or like drinkability could be like how easy it is to refer it to somebody else too.
Sure.
But I would give, if we're allowing 7s, I like a 7.5,
7.5.
like a 7.5, just because it's like, if somebody said, "Hey, I got some Kenyan coffee," and of course I've only had one type of Kenyan coffee, so if somebody says I got this Kenyan coffee and it's way different than that, who knows? But as far as the Ghost Town, I'm saying a solid 7.5.
So you're saying you could recommend it easily. You could
I would
drink it
recommend-
on a regular basis. and-
Yes.
So yeah, I would probably say a 6.5 for me.
Okay, so my out of 10 is 8.5.
Out of 10. Oh,
Yeah, because I divided by 3. Are we keeping track of these?
It's on the video.
Okay, I know, but like, we could
Yeah,
have.
we'll
okay.
do a better job.
Okay,
So mine's a 6.83 out of 10.
wait, a 6.83.
Yeah, repeating.
Okay. So average is a 7.7. We'll say 7.7. We'll round up.
7.665 is the
7 and 2/3.
2/3, which is pretty good, I would say.
That is that higher than last week's?
I don't.
I don't remember. This is why we gotta
think
have
so.
a little notebook. I have a
Yeah.
notebook we can use.
Yeah, I think it is, which makes sense because we added something to it. So
Yeah, it's
the
very
number would
true.
go up.
That's true. And I scored it really high.
Yeah.
So
7.665. I would definitely recommend this. However, the price point for this is $22 a bag for 16-ounce. bag.
okay, I didn't know that. So wait, 16 ounce,
Yeah, it's a
12 ounce.
12 ounce. Sorry, so 12 ounces of coffee
For
is
$22. That's
bucks.
almost $2 an ounce.
Yeah. So
But I guess that kind of comes into your personal opinion. Is it worth it? That's why I would have a bag of this. Now throwing in the price point after we make the rating, definitely something that I would keep. and something I would have like on the ready. But I don't know. I think it's kind of like a, like I said last week, somebody comes over. Yay! I want something unique.
Yeah,
That's a special occasion coffee.
I would say for a $22 bag, 7.65 is high.
Yeah,
But
but I like how you throw in the price afterwards
yeah,
because then it's like, okay,
yeah.
it's like okay, it scores really high, the price is high. There's got to be a reason.
Yeah. All in all, I would say this is pretty good. I would recommend it.
It's pretty
to try.
It's pretty darn good.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go to the next portion of this episode, and a little thank you to our sponsor, Cafe Rica, for letting us sit in their cafe and
Yeah.
create a podcast. We're gonna go on a short break and be right back.
All right, quote of the day. I gotta pull it up because I forgot it.
Quote of the day. It's a good one.
So today's quote: "Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great."
When Josh was looking for one and was throwing him out there to talk about it today, that one really stuck out to me because, to me, this quote is saying a lot about sacrifice.
Yes.
And I guess not relying on instant gratification.
Sometimes you have to play. You play a lot of chess. Sometimes it's more about playing chess than checkers. You want to go for the long game.
Yeah. And there's also something I saw yesterday that was a graph. It was two graphs, actually. And it was Dan Locke, I think. He said, doing something opposed to nothing, your trajectory is in a short time not going to be as different. So they're two exponential graphs, one's negative, one's positive. And so the one that you're doing something every day, it starts off over time. It's going off, steadily going up, and then it shoots up. And where the other one is the same thing, going steadily down. And there's, like I said, not much difference for a while, and then all of a sudden it separates, and it's a huge difference. So to me, that's kind of exactly what I was saying, that doing something great or going for the great is better.
Yeah, I think it's something that, especially at a young age, which I'm 20 and you're 24.
Yeah.
Okay. So even as young as we are, I think sometimes it's hard to figure out and see the long game for some people.
Yeah.
Some people they want that instant kind of gratification. That's something I've been working on personally, is trying to sit down and think, what do I want in the long run, and what can I do to make an impact and stuff like that. Because I don't want to get too in depth or anything, but it's I think there's something that everyone is supposed to do that makes some sort of impact, I guess.
Yeah.
And whether it's, providing a service and providing great coffee or, doing whatever, I think it's something that everyone kind of has to figure out. And that's something I've been working on and figuring out. And that has kind of led me into what I'm going to do as a career, hopefully. So, but I think in anything, there's sacrifices that have to be made.
Absolutely.
And another thing is I think for some people it's harder to figure out what sacrifices to make and which ones to wait on, I guess. Because you don't want to just, if something comes up, you don't want to just make a huge sacrifice right away. If you don't think it's you have to really sit down and think about it. It's it's going to differ person to person as well.
Yeah, it's very hard to
Put into words.
No, yeah, but it's hard to say, okay, me, I've been working 12 hours a day for a while, for a couple of years, and it's okay, I'm sacrificing that time for the greater good, because during that time I'm the cheapest person for labor.
Yeah.
So to put our company in a better situation, I made a sacrifice. However, it's hard to keep that North Star in mind and then go, what if what I'm doing is just wasting my time and someone that I know closely like dies or something, and I didn't spend time with them because I was doing this, and it ended up not being great. It was just good, but you can't really think about those. You just gotta, because you'll never know the other outcome.
Well, that's the thing is, I hate like the whole like what if.
Yeah.
I hate that. Like, oh well, what if this or what if that? And it's like, look, we have one life to live, and it's like, do what you want to do, and there comes a point where you're going to have to make a decision, and sacrifices are going to have to be made in any career field or any direction in life that you go. I also have a close friend, and it's like, I don't see him as much, but what he's doing is he's focusing his time and his effort and his money on his long game, which is music. And I mean, and he's still, one of my best friends. I literally consider him, one of my best friends of all time, of like a lifelong friend. And it's like, do we get to see each other as often as we'd like to? Probably not. But you also have to be able to respect other people's long game and what they want to do and what they're focusing their time and effort on. And I also have grown to not take things personally. I mean, there are some things that everyone's always going to take something personally. I think it's naive to say that you just never take anything to heart. You can brush everything off.
Right.
But you have to be able to respect other people's like if somebody stopped being friends with you because you were working too much for your own business, then they're not a good friend.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Does that make sense? I kind of went on a little rant.
I think it makes sense.
Okay.
One thing that I think could kind of resonate with everybody is, like, say, college. Say you go to college. It's a time that, it's a lot of socializing with new people, and that can lead to, like, being stressful.
Yeah.
But I think, like, if you're going into a career that it's worth it, of course, like, taking your studies serious, or, like, maybe not trying to get out in 4 years and doing the 5th year and taking less credits per semester to, so you're sacrificing 1 year time to then maybe get better grades.
Yeah.
You can then get maybe a better opportunity, a better internship, or maybe get the grade to get into that grad school that you wanted.
Exactly.
And so you're temporarily making a sacrifice in order to be better and move to that next step.
Yeah. I took a gap year from college.
Right.
And, like, so in that kind of sense, I sacrificed a year where I could have been going to school.
Right.
But, back to the what ifs, if I would have done it, who knows, maybe I would have changed my mind again.
Right.
Or I would have taken wasted credits. So I have to register for my class today for the summer. But so I'm taking a summer class, but it's like it's online, and I don't see that as a bad decision, right? Because then this upcoming school year, the fall and spring, I'm going to be overloaded with work at times, and it's like that's just one less credit I have to take during that time. So it's like the way I look at it, sometimes you have to sacrifice time for the end game.
Yeah. I mean, everybody says life's short, and it can be. However, life's a long thing.
And I think another thing is it's not only a long thing, but it's going to be stressful.
Yeah.
Again, you're naive to think that nothing in life is ever going to faze you and that you're going to never be stressed. And,
It's just how you bounce back.
Exactly.
All right.
That was a short quote this week.
Yeah, but I think it's a good one.
I think that was a really good one. And I think
What is it again?
I don't remember.
Sometimes you have to go put away.
Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great. So sometimes, step outside your comfort zone. Sometimes you have something really good going on. Maybe you're making the amount of money you want to make, and you have the house and the car and this, that, and the other that you want. But if there's something else that's calling you that might take longer, maybe you have to get rid of some things, but then later
You're much happier.
you're going to be happier,
Yeah.
do it. Sometimes you got to stop thinking so short term and start thinking long term. And yeah, that's a good quote.
See, so you can catch this every week, ideally on Mondays. I don't know if today's gonna be.
It's been a busy week.
Yeah, just came off Easter, so happy Easter, everybody. But you can catch these on the Los Hermanos Network. The Los Hermanos podcast on Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, all that, Anchor. Also on YouTube at Cafe Rica USA.
And Facebook. At Cafe Rica.
At Cafe Rica USA. So, that's all for today. Josh, takes out.
Whether you guys are listening in the morning, the day, or the night, thanks for tuning in to the Morning Cup. We'll catch you guys next time.